Hello, this is the Zeph Bro here. I think that's how you pronounce it, Zeph Bro. Wait a second, I should be able to know about the pronunciations. That's a bit weird. Okay, here we're going to be talking about topic of the week to my perspectives on Shazam. Do I hate Shazam? Do I think it's bad? Is that where I should stare at the camera? No, I suppose it doesn't matter. But back to Shazam, my opinion's growing just a bit more on it, but I got a few issues with it. One is the excessive surprise jump scare, not like the jump scares like in a horror film, at least not in general, or the jump scares like a plot twist of subversives like, oh, what a twist, or haha, what a twist, I'm Ruin Johnson. No, no, no. It's not like that. The it's very excessive a lot. Just like, oh, surprise, it's action, boom. I mean, it's if you're watching it in a theater with loudspeakers, you're gonna have it's just gonna be you're just gonna have one hell of a time, and not like a hell of a time of fun, like one hell of a hell time, where it's it just keeps going on and on and on. Another issue I have with this movie is that the final fight seems to drag on just a bit too long, and so that's a bit of an issue for me. Like, one moment I thought, okay, it's gonna end here, and then it was just like, okay, it's gonna end here, and then it was just like, okay, it's gonna end here. And when you gonna end the fight, movie? So that was an issue for me. What else? Another thing is, even though it's nowhere near as bad as Captain Marvel's way of handling it, when it comes to how when she got her powers, there's nothing clever. How she managed to get it was just so typical. Like, I believe in myself. I got my powers. And then she's just able to use it like boom, 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 destroy everything. As for how Billy Watson, or Billy Batson, I think it's Billy Batson, is his name. I think that's his name, Billy Batson, and how he was able to do it was he was when he got his powers, there were a few things where he was getting carried away. It just didn't seem as if it was exploring much. It might explore a little more of that in the second movie, where the scene where he said, "Hand, lightning in my hand, lightning in my hand." Lightning in my hand. I actually like that saying. It was exploring a bit more into the consequences, but I don't think too much, because from what I've heard, Black Adam might have something to do with the explorations of the consequences, where he's like tempts with the power. I haven't seen the movie of Superman and Shazam. I haven't seen that animated movie, but I think I could have sworn like one scene had something to do with that, where Shazam, Billy Batson, might have been taking his powers just a bit too far. And there was a bit of a consequence there, but it didn't get explored much. I thought it could have done more, and I'm hoping they do more of that in the second movie. But the overall story arc of the movie was about Billy trying to find his mother, and the lengths Billy was going through. He was breaking the law with the policemen themselves, and trying to find identifications from the policemen to do whatever it is to it means necessary to find where his mother is. And he's been doing a lot of bad things, not like, oh, he's killed someone, more so like he's just been breaking the law, breaking the law links and like equivalent of thievery into getting what he wants. And because of that, things are just not going well for Billy. He tries to go through these lengths, and so he goes to this family that is one of the more willing families to let Billy stay with him. They were the ones that were more. Everyone else doesn't want Billy because of how he acts, of how he's so willing to find his mother, and what he does in trying to find his mother, and the situation he's placed in with his mother leaving him, and what that left him. His mother fought This contains spoilers, but his mother thought that he was better off without her, but but it actually kind of backfired because it got him in a more serious mess of him just wondering what happened to her, where is she, why did she leave me, and so he went through all these measures to try to get to her, and so when he went to this orphanage, these two families were more willing to have him. I mean, they had their limits. They were irritated. They did have their limits with him, where he did go a bit too far with how he was behaving. So the real big key here, even though it doesn't explore the consequences of Billy getting his powers, it does explore onto the depth of how it affected him, of him trying to find his mother, because he kind of does care. He does care about saving lives, and he does have some regrets. But the reason why he behaves the way he is because he was left at a young age, and from what his mother said, she was around the age of 17. So that's got to be a bit hard. And I think he was like around 4, and then 10 years later, or he might have been 2 or 4. His mother had him when she was like very young. So that was very harsh on him when he was just left there. And when he finally got to meet her, he realized that his true family is the ones that were it was the orphanage with like his friends, his brothers, and the one that liked to be called little sister. But I forgot the name of this other kid. He became best friends with this other kid who was like on crutches. He seemed autistic, and he had like a big mouth and not knowing when to talk. And I did like those relationships and how that was going. The movie seemed like it was being pretentious. I honestly thought this movie was going to bomb and being a pretentious mess with how the beginning was starting, especially with showing how the villain became who he was and thinking he was not worthy and doing anything. But it actually makes sense. It actually follows the tone well, because those types of dark themes, the dark tones, when the movie gets dark, it's specifically focused on the villain, not with Billy. The rest is just more so neutral and like just have fun with itself. So when it comes to the dark tone, it's just focused on the villain. So it's not that pretentious. But the ending was a bit ballsy. In terms of when it comes to the word ballsy, some people say that's a bold move. It was a bold move, in my opinion, because of the escalation purpose. I think the movie went a bit too far and trying to be way too action-packed for a first installment. I think that should have been saved up for like a sequel to this movie or something much larger than that, because this movie it seems like I said, it just dragged on way too much. Man, I hate Man of Steel. I do hate that movie, and I think Wonder Woman's escalation should have been saved up for a second movie with the villain. But they did handle the pacing of Act 3 far much better than this one. I will give Man of Steel and Wonder Woman that much credit. But Shazam, I still had fun with this movie with how things were going. I do like the development of it. But there was one guy who said something about this movie that I want people to know. I think he's called Brett Culp. I think that's his YouTube channel. I think I'm gonna link it below. But he basically, what he says, the best part, what made me appreciate this movie more, is that with Billy Batson's life, he doesn't have the perfect life. And the moral of this movie is that despite the fact that you keep bumping into just messes upon messes, you can make the best of what you have. I mean, it's something you've heard before. And the thing is that the Wizard Shazam, when he picked Billy was not the perfect guy for it. He was not perfect like everyone else. Like, oh, I'm just pure-hearted. No. This kid was not pure-hearted. But he was the last resort. And nobody is perfect. And the wizard tried to keep finding the perfect person, but just you never find the perfect person. And that was the point of the movie, is that despite the fact that Billy's not perfect, he can still make the best out of himself and work from his imperfections to perfect or go within the range of it. And that's what I like about this movie. It knows it handles its tone better. I felt as if the characters were handled better than the other movies. I certainly like it better than Batman and Superman trying to kill each other, and maybe with Batman actually killing Lois Lane. So I do like this movie, and I'm looking forward to the second movie. Till then, this is Zeph Bro, and if you want to submit a topic to me, please do. Okay, but until then, this is Zeph Bro signing off.